tough loss for our football team, and you know, it kind of gets back to this rivalry. It's basically what it's advertised. You know, tough, hard-fought games, and you know, they're unpredictable. And certainly over the last X amount of years, it's been really close. And they played a really good game. Credit to them. You know, compliments to them the way they competed. They did a great job, and we came up short. So. You know, the most important thing, you know, it's going to hurt for a while, and we're going to have to move forward and see what we can do to, you know, build off of this. And I'll get to that in a second. But, you know, just a couple takeaways. You know, in the first half, our defense played really well. Came up with 2 field goals. One was off really good field position. The other was after a really nice drive. And I had an opportunity, you know, at least on one of those maybe to get a touchdown and to come up with 2 field goals there. It's a couple missed opportunities, and you know, came back and got us a little bit, and then you know, we threw a pick in the first half, or excuse me, the start of the second half. You know, which was not a total calamity. We gave them the ball in the plus or minus 25. They had 75 to go, but really, what happened there? They had a couple possessions where they moved the ball and scored touchdowns. To their credit, I was happy with the way the offense responded after their first touchdown. We came back and drove it and answered with a touchdown, so that was certainly encouraging. But, you know, just came up short here at the end. They did a good job moving the ball, and credit to their field goal kicker. A 55-yard field goal is, you know, pretty impressive effort on his part. So we played cleaner football. You had the 1 turnover, a couple penalties, but certainly cleaner, 2 penalties, I guess. I thought our guys played hard, thought they prepared hard, and, you know, so that's kind of it in a nutshell right now. You know, the biggest thing right now for our football team, we've still got 12 weeks in front of us, 10 games, and you know, you never want to lose a game, certainly, but the biggest thing is, like any time of the season, you know, it's how you're going to respond to it, and it's important for our guys to understand. I think we have a good football team here. We have good leadership, good coaching staff, and you know, win, lose, or draw, you got to move forward and respond. So this one's going to hurt for a while, but we'll move forward and learn from it tomorrow, and go back to work on Monday. I'll throw it out for questions.
Start with Tom.
Tom Kaker, Hawkeye Report. Kirk, can you, there's different philosophies on going for 2 and when you go for it. Can you explain your decisions there?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the debate would be, you know, is it too early, that type of thing. They put us at 19-7. Thought it gave us our best chance to win the football game, and to me the bigger issue is us not at least getting 1 touchdown out of those 2 field goal opportunities. And we had the ball down inside there close, you know, so that's obviously an area we're going to have to improve on.
Kirk, Elliott Club, Hawkeye Beacon. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Cade went for 20 for his last 20 passes.
Probably no better than I, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Did something maybe go awry? Were they doing, you know, getting after him in the back? Like, what did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, football's a game of momentum and swings, and you know, they've played good defense ever since, you know, Coach Campbell and Coach Aycock got there. So they made it tough on us, you know. They made it tough, and we probably missed some plays, maybe some misreads, or missed some plays where we maybe could have averted that. But that's going to be part of football, and we'll have to ride that a little bit. But I mean, as I said last week too, I think, you know, I've been saying for a while now, you know, he's working his way back. He's still, you know, trying to get back in game shape, if you will, or game mode, and he's working hard. And I think, you know, confident he'll do just fine.
Post-game in the locker room, describe to us what you said to the team.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can't say. You know, you can't make anybody feel any better. And, you know, when you work hard and, you know, everybody's got a lot invested in this game. It's a big game for everybody in the state. Certainly no bigger for anybody than the players on both sides and the coaches. So after a loss like this, it's tough. And there's not much you can say to make anybody feel better. And that's the first thing you say. And, you know, it's gonna hurt for a while. But at some point, we've got to turn our attention to learning from it. And then the most important thing, again, is going to be flipping the page, and that's, you know, sometime tomorrow night or Monday morning for sure, and move on to the next opponent.
John Seppi's here after that. You've had now 1 game with Cade that went well, another that hasn't gone so well. Where do you kind of see things standing at the quarterback position with him and Brendan moving forward?
Probably the way I did coming into the stadium today. You know, I think you know, we expect him to be our quarterback, and expect some ups and downs. You know, I've been saying it pretty consistently. You know, he's still working his way back into shape, and yeah, as our whole team with the offense and whatever. But we'll get better. We'll improve. Our guys have a great attitude. He's got a great attitude, and yeah, we'll work through this.
Back left.
Chris Magnolia, Daily Island.
Sure, yeah.
Caleb Johnson obviously had a really good game, around 200 total yards. Despite losing this game, can you just talk about what he did for your team today?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's part of football. You know, he's played well for us the last 2 years, but he's playing at a much higher level right now. Part of his maturity, you know, his focus is better, he's practicing better. You know, I think it's experience and maturity. You know, he's been here a couple of years, he's run the football, worked hard to get better, and it's showing out there in the field. He made some really nice plays today, and it's one thing to be encouraged about. I think there's a lot to be encouraged about. Now we just got to pull it all together and get it to mesh and gel.
Dan.
Coach Dan Stacy, Sportscast Media. Do you make any major changes this week in practice, or is it business as usual?
This past week?
Or this coming week? Do you
No.
make any? You make any made nothing?
No, just do things a little bit better, and it's like any time, you know. I mean, just the whole, whether we win or lose, the idea is to get a little bit better, take the experiences that we've gained, and you know, talked about this last week. You know, game experience is different than practice, so this is a whole nother chapter here for us to learn from. And the biggest thing is, what can you take away from that? You know, what do you learn in the meetings tomorrow? What did it take? And then you make your improvement during the week of preparation, and then hope it shows up when you compete the next opportunity.
Thank you.
Scott.
Scott Docterman, The Athletic. I wanted to ask you about your two red zone opportunities inside the 5 that ended up with field goals. Seemed like, I think, both drives up until the final play of the second one, you had either 23 personnel, 14 personnel, just depending on how you classify one of the players. Was that the plan kind of all week, that when you got in that position, you wanted to go with that kind of personnel grouping? And kind of what's your ultimate thought about that going forward?
Sure. Yeah, in a general sense, yeah, that'd be the answer. But then you always have, you know, plan B and C, just in case. And it depends how the game's going, what those situations look like. And, you know, I'll obviously be reevaluating that again after tomorrow when we look at the film and see what we need to do better. But it's just an ongoing thing. Yeah, but you want to have those things available certainly down in there. Things are pretty tight. And, you know, there are a couple plays there that obviously we could have executed better that pushed us back, set us back. So, you know, that's going to be part of the challenge as we go forward.
Chad.
Chad Leistico, Des Moines Register. Obviously, every yard mattered at the end there. You took a delay game instead of calling timeout right before your last punt. Was that something you thought about? What was your thought process, I guess, in letting the clock expire, and then, of course, they get the ball? You know,
yeah, I mean, we weren't going to go for it there. It was just, you know, we're going to have to punt the football. So
right.
yardage.
But why not call timeout, though? Why not?
Oh, we could have. I didn't think yardage was very